Boo, boo, boo. Dun, 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 dun. Nightlife superstitions. Inside, upside down. On the Vida Loca. You guys remember that song? Anyway, let's see what we got here. Oh, look, nothing's happened still with Pam Bondi. All right, howdy and aloha, everyone. This is James with Mana Talk. Mana meaning power, talk meaning use your words. Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. I kind of predicted that they would win, and honestly, they did. And I think they blew the doors off. I don't. What is the final score? I just stopped watching after it was like 29-7. Let's check real quick. Let's see what the score is. Hang on. Super Bowl results 29-13. Hey, and there's 2 minutes left, so something could happen. I mean, they could maybe did they get the onside kick? You know they got an onside kick. Yeah, it's going to take 2 more touchdowns. Wow, if they pull this off, this would be probably the greatest upset in Super Bowl history with 2 minutes left. I mean, we're at the 2-minute warning, I think, right now, right? Oh, my gosh, it's crazy. Let me show you. There it is. Yeah, I was more, cheering. And, I used to live in Kent, Washington as a kid. I was stationed in Bremerton in the Navy. My daughter was born there and stuff like that. So just letting you know, and I hope this thing isn't flickering. It flickers every once in a while. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. All right, so there's 1:57 left. I think we're in I don't know what we're doing. But we'll check back. I mean, why not? I just want to see what's going on. I just got out of work. I've got plans. I'm off tomorrow and the next day. I am going golfing tomorrow for sure. I just cannot wait to get out. I don't think it'll be cart path only, but I just can't wait to get out and, hit a ball 250, 270, maybe 280. I'm working on the swing. It's work in progress. I'm close to 90, 88 right now, I think, is my average. I don't know what, whatever handicap. I'm not really a super golfer, but I am getting better, and I think in the past year and a half or 2 years now, year and a half at least, I've been getting better, and that's good. And I'm getting it out there. I'm running around, moving. Cart path only means that you cannot only drive on the cart path as you're golfing. But I was going to show you something else because I thought this was really interesting. Let me just bring it up real quick. Halftime show. We're Bad Bunny, the dress, woke shit, whatever. But this was, I think, a surprise. I'm not sure, but I don't know if you know who this guy is. You guys know who that guy is? That's Ricky Martin, right? Ole, ole, ole. He went out and sang songs. He's Hispanic. He came out a while ago, but the thing is he was singing, he did sing a couple of Hispanic songs here and there. I don't know if he ever did the Super Bowl. I think he's done a lot of soccer contests or games. But what's interesting here is I was just, somebody brought this, recorded it, and this is kind of what it is or what they had. There's Ricky Martin. Quiero, quiero, quiero. Okay. Now, I'm not understanding that. I mean, it was basically thoroughly done by Bad Bunny. Guys from Puerto Rico. I get it. He's a good. I think he's a good entertainer. I mean, if I'm watching a soccer game, this is it. This is the kind of performance I want to see. But and here's the other thing. Santa Clara, California, is where this is being done. It's California is, I think, predominantly Hispanic, honestly. So this makes sense too. It's just a halftime show. It's fucking Super Bowl. They always get political, it seems. Okay, I'm not. Okay. Oh, there you go. Oh, wait a second. So Bad Bunny brings out the Puerto Rican flag. Here you go, bro. Right? Right? Speaking Spanish, at least most of the people at the Super Bowl have no idea what the fuck he's saying. I know a couple of things. But I'm just like, bro, um, excuse me, Mendel, Roger Mendel, the NFL president or CEO, is a fucking idiot. Idiot. And look, I like his stuff. I think he's a good performer. Whatever he wants, however he wants to toss his sauce is up to him. Fuck it. That's the way I say it. It's an interesting saying. But the thing is, this America, motherfucker. This America, right? I can understand if there was a Hawaiian thing going on and we'd say a few Hawaiian songs in there that make sense, but you're bringing out the Puerto Rican flag, right? And if you look, Hawaiians would probably bring out the Hawaiian flag. I get that too, but they would have the American flag somewhere in this picture, right? I'm patriotic. I that's the way I am. Like I said, I like the Seattle Seahawks. I was stationed in the Navy in Alameda, California, and a blue state, and then also another blue state, Seattle, Bremerton Naval Shipyard. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just come on, right? And then on the other end of the spectrum, and I'm gonna grab this real quick. You had right here. Let me grab it. All American Halftime Show. I'm going to open this up in a new tab. Right here. Play some of this. If it's not a commercial. That's cool. And sorry, I don't. Is it just country? Because I wanted to hear some rock and roll. That's just me. I really wanted to hear. I don't know why this thing is. See, I got too much shit open. But anyway, I'm just like, man, I mean, come on, bro. Right? Where are you making your money? Right? Where are you making all your money at? In the capitalistic country, the constitutional republic, right? The constitutional republic of the United States of America. Oh, here's Kid. What does Kid Rock do? Let me see. There you go. That's just the woke liberals right now are just throwing up, and there's no way they were going to watch that, of course. But I mean, yeah, that's American. Can we have a happy medium? Just a little happy medium. I'm okay with this and different language. Not you want to throw your flag up there, the state you actually or the country actually support, whatever, fine. But I mean, I'm just football, hot dogs, hamburgers, French fries, apple pie kind of guy. That's just I've always been that. Kind of weird. That was kind of weird. All right. So let's kind of dive into a little politics here, people. There's a little thing on Bad Bunny. He's just very odd. I mean, I would say he's not sporting Catholicism. He's not doing that. He's this one eye thing. He's all about this, the all-seeing eye, Illuminati, whatever crap. It's kind of strange. All right, let me see here. It's still going. Let me just see if I got it in there good. Yeah, it's in there. Ooh. Covering up one of his eyes. There's a thing to that. Covering both eyes with a devil hat. Okay. Yeah, I look. There's all kinds of stuff. It's nuts. There's a rabbit hole. I guarantee the guy's a fucking weirdo. It's a done deal. We get it. But let's whatever. Okay. There's some things that are happening coming up really soon here that I need to bring to everybody's attention. And there's a little battle going on who, and this is going to be very telling. There's a little battle going on between the Clintons and the Trumps. Who's going to win the publicity? Whose narrative is going to stick? Well, we all know that mainstream media is going to pump up and say, look, everything that the Clintons are going to say on the 26th is Hillary, and I think 27th is Bill, or either or whatever. It's of this month. They're supposed to go out there, and Hillary wants it to be in public, and you have to understand why. The reason why she wants it in public is because she's going to do everything she can to say as much as she can, and I guarantee the word Trump is going to come up at least 100 times with her and 100 times with Bill. And they're going to throw in words like dictator and evil and racist and, name it, and whatever. And this is what's going to happen. The dog and pony show is going to turn into a dog and pony show. And I've always said that congressional hearings are a waste of my fucking tax dollars. It does nothing. I want to see people prosecuted, Pam Bondi. I want to see people going in jail that are elites out there in the deep state, Democrat or Republican. I don't care. But if these people and these clients aren't being exposed, this is fucking retarded. Period. Let me just say, okay, the standard procedure. Okay, what? It doesn't. So people are saying, we need to expose everything. I get it, but what you and I want shouldn't matter. Well, should to a certain extent, because we want accountability. We want justice to always prevail. That's what we vote for. But what we really want is for these victims, these slain victims of abuse of children back in this time, in the early 2000s, late 90s. It doesn't matter what we think or the people that aren't even victims. It doesn't matter what we think. I mean, we're not, what? It's the victims that we should listen to. And if they're okay with releasing everything, then they should release everything. Fuck, do it. Right? Stop redacting the names. Stop. I think we only got, I'm watching Tim Dillon. He's just going after Trump and the administration pretty hard, which I get. In regards to this, people should, in my opinion. But the whole thing is what we do or say shouldn't matter. What the victims are. So as I wrote this, people are agreeing with what I'm saying here. They're releasing everything they can should release everything. Again, it should be up to the victims or those that have made claims sexually assaulted by whomever that went to the island or the resort. That's supposed to say or. If there are any victims or children in any of those pictures, then they should be contacted, right, by the attorneys and protected by the state and the federal government immediately. And then they should be able to make a decision of who they claim are their assailants. That's it. It's pretty much standard procedure. And it's fucking retarded that nobody's doing any of this. This is the thing that's tripping me out about this. I want to talk to the lawyers of these women and some men that have been abused or whatever their claims are, their alleged claims. That has to be seen that way. But where's the attorneys? Does anybody ask that? Where's the attorneys for these people? I'm always hearing, we want justice and all this other stuff. I want to see the attorneys come out, and I want them to do either a class action or whatever the fuck they need to do and get this shit moving, and then get it all the way up to the Supreme Court so this shit can be released. But so this is the most interesting thing about this entire thing, right? So it's just fucking retarded. Nobody's doing any of this. I mean, are they real attorneys out there? I'm kind of baffled, and I think maybe because they're afraid. This could be the reason. Maybe they're afraid, okay, to represent these slain people against these large, influential politicians, global elites. I mean, that could be it too, right? It's like A Few Good Men, right, with Tom Cruise and Jack Nicklaus. You don't go after these big guys unless you have absolute and total proof, et cetera, et cetera. Because if you don't, and you just want a guy to blow up on the stage, what these people aren't. They're not going to blow up. If you ever brought them up, whoever's still around, whoever these elitists are, these sick fucks, pedo shit fucks, you're going to need to have a solid case. For sure. For sure. If you're an attorney, because if you don't, they'll go after you. If you lose in any way, there goes your license, there goes everything. You're going to be screwed. So I can kind of get where they're coming from, but I know there's people out there that want to do this. I know there's people out, and I really want this to be exposed. This is, some of the pictures I put, and I got to show you some of the things I put in regards to the Epstein stuff, which is pretty self-explanatory. Like, for example, let me just go here. I'm just saying, it's nuts. It's just nuts. And it needs to be exposed. Oh, but I'm going to photos. Yeah, hello. Right? Okay, so the thing that I put, which I think is... it's just baffling to me that we're not... It's just something's... The whole thing just seems like it's not going in a usual, lawful direction. It just seems off. Like there's something fucking way off with this entire thing, and there is. Look, it's pretty apparent. However, I mean, I'm just going to go through these photos. Let me see this thing. So right here. So Bill Clinton is planning to reveal everything. Right? I'm going to tell everything. I'm going to show everything. I'm going to do. Okay. Show it all. Let's see it. Right? Let's see what you got. I don't want to hear words, because that's all we're hearing is words, right? We're currently hearing words, or this photo and that statement that can be misconstrued for something. I mean, you have to have seriously viable, provable information, which I think is important. Yeah, so I wrote here, I want all the pedophiles to be incarcerated. I'd actually like worse for them. It's just words with no documents, no video, no emails. Then it's just hearsay. His words against another's words, and then it could be slander at that point, right? Which isn't going to help anybody, of course. Yep. As I thought this is what I thought the Clintons do. When they first said they weren't going to show up to their subpoenaed hearing, they said, well, let's build a public relations, marketing, advertising psyop. That's what they're doing. And when you see what happens come February 26th, 27th, or whatever they're coming up, you will definitely see that. Because they stalled, right? They need more. They needed a little more time. The Clintons they have their script now. They're ready to go. Trump, and it's going to be a fucking joke, because still not a single client or legal pedophile predator class John person has not been arrested. Nobody. Right? It's just fuck. How bad can I make it look for that person, and how bad can I make it look for that person with nobody being held accountable? It's just fucking ridiculous. I'm going to show you this. Right? And the reason why I'm going to show you this is because I think I created this early 2020. When I really got into the World Economic Forum. And look, if you don't know it, the World Economic Forum, let me see, the Council on Foreign Relations, Chatham House, the World Health Organization. I've got a lot of information to back up everything I'm about to state right now, which is they are the greatest and most powerful terrorist organizations on the planet. They control everything, and the people that are in their clubs, right? The greatest. We are very proud. If the top left, it says right there, we are very proud of how we penetrate the cabinets around the world, right? Fucking Dr. Evil or Klaus Schwab, who's gone, who's here but left the WEF, and then there's some other pictures of all these Hollywood stars with even Trump was out there. When I posted that, I thought that Trump was kind of in it, part of it, because I didn't really hear the entire everything he said. He wasn't really in that spot where he could say what he wanted and what he needed to say. Plus, he was probably a lot more naive about it. But now people have definitely told him that the World Economic Forum is just full of sick, fucking crazy elitist predators, and you need to fucking space yourself from that place as much as possible, which he recently just did. At the last Davos meeting, he said, fuck off. And everybody else should have their own sovereignty and stop this corporate governance, which is all over the World Economic Forum website. All right? Screw the World Health, all these fuckers, right? They're all just a bunch of shitheads. The Billionaire Club, Gates, Soros, right? Bloomberg. I mean, even Warren Buffett's part of it. I mean, whatever. But so I'm showing that just so you know that this is what we're dealing with. And everybody needs to understand the most important thing here, the most important thing in this, and I put this up a long, long time ago. Divide and conquer. If the 99% continues to fight each other, then we'll never defeat the true enemy. Right? Stop being their pawns of division. That's totally. They know what they're doing. Bill and Hillary are going to go at it. Hopefully, and I'm saying hopefully, Trump will come back with the facts. So if and Trump's not an idiot, and his attorneys aren't stupid. They have these are people in high level Yale, Harvard, whatever, Brown, like some of the greatest fucking lawyers and attorneys and people out there within the confines of the law can do a lot of this stuff, right? We get it. He's got it all, and they've got their people, whatever. But when it comes down to the final part of this whole entire Epstein thing, people, me, you, especially the victims, they want their justice to be served upon their assailants, the people that this monster sick fucks, right? And this in regards to all the other stuff that's happening all over the world, right? Minnesota, the protests, all this other shit. What needs to happen is the reason why the Epstein file. I'll just lay this down. I'm going to lay this down because it pops in my head all the time. The reason why the Epstein files need clarity, why it needs to be buttoned. It needs to be tied up in a bow. It needs to be just God, what is the word I'm looking for? I think I've already said the word, but what I'm saying is it definitely must be resolved to its fullest extent, to where there's nowhere else to go, and that's it. And then let the chips fall where they may. That's it. People want to see this because the problem with this, here's the biggest part, the biggest part. If you don't do this now, it will just continue. If we don't fix this completely, so at this moment, the Clintons are preparing their script. They're going to get out, at least over 100 times. They're going to say Trump, and the same sentence is going to say dictator, racist, pedophile, whatever they're going to fucking say, right? And then I think the Trump administration is going to be ready for all of that. And anything they say, they need to be careful. Because I truly believe that Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi have already created this and put this together. And they're waiting for the Clintons to just start barking like rabid, flea-bitten, tick-bitten dogs that they are. And then they're going to come in and say, well, we're going to have to put you down. You've just been doing this too long, and here's the proof, and you just shoved your ugly, disgusting feet in your mouths. This is where I think it's going to happen. I could be totally wrong, but I've got a feeling, and I'm thinking that these people are a lot smarter. I am concerned again with Pam because nobody's been held accountable. Pam, the thing about Pam, look, not to get off topic with it, I am going to get off that topic because off of the Clinton and Clinton versus Trump versus Clinton. Who's going to win that Epstein showdown, right? At this hearing, and like I said, nobody's going to win from that because nobody's going to jail. Nobody's going to be prosecuted, right? Contempt of court, whatever the fucking case. Contempt of Congress. Have you seen that before? Has anybody really spent time in prison for a federal prison for contempt of Congress? Anybody seen that? I haven't. Maybe there has been, but we need it more. If you're going to say it's a hearing, if it's official, people can be held accountable, then fucking do it, for God's sakes. But I'm just not seeing it. Let's go back to here. So I'm trying to figure out, honestly, I am really trying to figure out if we're going to get answers, right? I think people are we're exhausted, honestly. And I think they're doing a good job at doing it to us. I think they're doing it. There are people out there bitching and complaining and bitching, and I guess I'm complaining and bitching. But honestly, I just want this thing to be justified. I want the justice to actually prevail. Real justice, right? Real, honest justice. Okay, so, and I want the Johns that went and did this shit and that all that they were a part of it. I want those people to be incarcerated. If you go out and try to pick up a hooker in a certain states, probably not California anymore, but because it's just full of prostitutes. I am telling you now. I went out to a club there a year ago, a couple of clubs, great bars, and the friend I was with going, bro, pretty much everybody in here, all these girls, especially the ones this age and looking good or whatever, they're all prostitutes. The prostitutions are in the bar. So what happens, and most of you don't know this, and probably happens everywhere else, is they make an agreement with you before, when the numbers are exchanged, or if you're going to go with them that night or whatever the case may be, and they situate with you and they're going to give you a price. Well, if you want to be with you for a half hour, it's 150, or I don't know. They mentioned like, dude, they charge like 150 for like a half hour. I'm like, what the fuck? What am I doing? Why? They're all surrounding me. Well, I'm that old guy that they think has a ton of money that can afford all that shit. But, I was buying the drinks, so that, of course, they're going to kind of flock that way. Anyway, it's really bad. So, but the Johns that participate in that transaction usually go to jail. Yeah, so this whole thing with Epstein and how it's being drawn out and where it's, the politicians are using it as leverage for this and that. It's just fuck. It just says such a bad thing about this kind. It just makes us look disgusting. That's it. It just makes us appear. It's like, look, I'm not saying other countries wouldn't hide this shit, because the trafficking of children and humans across this planet is more recently being exposed and much far worse than we had ever thought or expected. And Minnesota and California and Seattle and all these other blue states, this stuff's starting to come out too. And yes, it happened in red states. And I guarantee you there are some Republicans that are involved. I guarantee you that it's mostly democratic, for sure. These people are just really fucking, and it's gotten really bad. It has gotten so bad in this country, man. You guys have no idea how terrible, awful. I mean, it probably went, super hypersonic, or let's say Trump warp speed, in late 2020, within the past 4 years of the Biden administration. It's been bad, right? It slowed down, but then it just doubled and tripled in speed and volume and power when the Biden administration was around, because the money was going in that direction. The laundered money from all these daycares and all this other shit goes in certain directions. Whether it's daycare with Social Security, whether it's this or Medicaid, whatever the deal is. Whether it's building a train that never got built in California, or whether it's something that's happening in Hawaii or whatever. This all that money kind of goes to these people. Like I said, these are the people that get a piece of that. These sickos and these, Council on Foreign Relations, World Economic Forum, Chatham House, these are the fuckers that get this shit, right? We are building a world tyranny where everyone will be our slaves with no rights, property, or privacy. Seems that most of you are okay with. So thanks. I'm telling you, there are people out there right now, especially these people that are protesting, they don't really understand what's going on. They do not understand the level of insidious, heinous behavior that's happening around them. They just don't. And that's the sad part. They don't know what this means, this collage. And they don't want to, because it's just a little too much for them. A lot of people won't even be able to handle what's being exposed right now to the Epstein file dump, which is, I think, half of it, right? Half of it. Which there's a ton more. And that's, fuck, crazy. That's just what? And this shit went on for like a decade, 2 decades, and some of it is still moving around. Remember all the children in Maui? Nobody's up. Where are all the children gone? And then they said the buses left and picked up children, but they couldn't tell where the buses went. Right? That fucking mayor of Maui, he's an evil fuck. And I'm telling you people right now, get rid of Josh Green in Hawaii. He's just pure evil. Haruro or whatever that senator lady, Hamato, whatever, the senator from Hawaii, and Newsom and all, Walz and all these fucking sick fucks. There are just tons of them out there, and it's just getting out of control. I'm really hoping, and this is where I'm at right now. This is where I'm at. I am really hoping that Pam Bondi will finally go after the bigger fish, which I'm hoping that's the case. Because she is getting a little guppies and she is getting a few worms out there. And I can understand why you want to go after the low-hanging fruit first, because then they'll start to squeal on the bigger fish, right? I get all that. But time is moving. I understand you got to have a solid case. And I've said this, if you do not have somebody prosecuted by the midterm, unless you're going to completely prove that 2020 was absolutely rigged, which I know it was, the general election, absolutely. And I've already proven the part, which nobody fucking talks about, that COVID was set up to create that. COVID was actually created to extend those ballot counting, to give more time to stuff those ballots, to give more time to rig the system. That's what it was. That's why they extended everything. Oh, COVID, we got to extend it, or nobody come out. That's part of it. And nobody's incorporated that in there. They just think, it's just because they're just cheating in the Dominion machines. No, there was a giant process happening. Much bigger than most of you could fathom. And because of me doing this show since 2017, I've watched these patterns. I've watched this. I've researched, done my due diligence, chickadee checked myself before I wreck myself on most of the stuff that I've researched. And a lot of that information I've got on my blog. If you need more information, I'll put it in the comments, or just put it in the comments. But all in all, it's time. It's seriously fucking time right now that we start coming to some closure. It's time that we just say, "Hey, I get it. This happened. Let's close." I want it to be closure, as in completely closure, as in it's been completely done. I don't know. I was at work. I'm just fucking tired. I've been at work all day, so I'm just saying to you right now. Okay, we need to make sure that this stuff starts to become just a horrific piece of American history, and it is going to be. And it is. We have, like I've said in the past, we can't evolve as a species or as a nation or as a people if we aren't completely upfront with ourselves, if we aren't honest, if we aren't fair and trusting and everything. It's hard for people to do that, and some people get influenced, and some people just it's hard. I get it. I get it. Let's do the best thing for us, for this country first, and wipe the slate clean. Right? And we can have those golden years, but if we have this stuff in these dark corners and the closets and it's stuffed in these walls, under the cushion shit, just manifesting, it's not going to be good for us. It's not going to be good for us at all. So the goal that I'm trying to say for everybody is get with your congressman. What is it? 202 212 Anyway, I'll put the number. The number's in my comments of how to contact your congressman. You can. I always leave it there, and I recommend everybody do that for sure. Always contact your congressman. By the way, last but not least, I want to talk about John Thune, who needs to pass the SAVE Act. We need verifiable American citizens voting. Period. If you are believing that anybody can just come into this country and just fucking vote out of nowhere, that's lunatic. That's lunacy, because that doesn't happen in other countries. That doesn't happen in other countries. Other countries aren't that fucking stupid. All right? There you go. All right, so keep protesting for the criminals, you weirdos and freakos out there. And that's pretty much it. Aloha to everybody. Thank you for listening. This is James with Monotalk. Wish me luck tomorrow on my golf game, because I'm feeling a little stiff today. Oh, my God.